Hello and welcome back to another video on this channel, which is dedicated to all you producers and musicians who are looking to find tips and helpful videos on how to get better at production, level up your channel or page, or find useful tools to help with creativity and productivity, which is what we're talking about today. This video is 5 websites you should know as a music producer. Let's get straight into it. The first one is called musicmap.com. You've probably already heard about how it's so important to find a niche when you're building a type beat channel, and in finding a niche you've got to pick an artist or a couple of artists which are big enough that they're going to have searches for their type beats but small enough that it's not oversaturated. So if you're finding it difficult to label your type beats to a more niche artist, this website can be really helpful. Let's say I make J. Cole type beats and it's not really working for me, so I need to find an artist which is slightly more niche and smaller so that I can kind of perform better with SEO and YouTube, but it's still in the same style. I would just search in J. Cole, and as you can see it will give you loads of names of artists which are similar in the style and sound to the main artist that you're putting in. So this would make it possible to make J. Cole type beats but still be in a niche by labeling those beats to a smaller artist that we can pick from here. I think the best thing to do after using this would be going in Spotify and listening to some of the songs of the artist that you've just found, and checking that it does match in style, and also checking how big that artist is and if it's in that kind of sweet spot I was just talking about. Number 2 is voxremover.com. As well as being a service which splits vocals and instrumentals, which as producers we all know how helpful that can be, it's also really good at, and this is why I've included it, being used really effectively for mashups, which I can see really helpfully being a good way to find ideas and content for TikTok and Reels and all of that. So as you can see, when you search in a song, here I've searched Post Malone Circles, it gives you a list of all the songs in the same BPM and key, which makes it so much easier to experiment with mashups and songs, rather than just searching in individual keys and BPMs of random songs and trying to find one that works. It gives you a much more streamlined way of finding those songs to mash up, and as I said, it's a really good way to find ideas for TikTok content as a producer, which can be really difficult. So that's definitely one to try out. I say this is a fairly well known one, but if you don't know it, this is a good opportunity to note it down, because it's a website that I use every day. What I find most useful about this website is that any audio file you give it, it will tell you the key and the BPM of it, which is really helpful. Say if you've made some loops, you've bounced them out, but you're not quite sure what key they're in, you can just put them all in and it will literally do it all in a couple seconds, and it will find the key and BPM of every single thing you put in. The speed and accuracy which it does it at, I think, is its biggest attribute. I've tried some other kind of similar websites which are a lot slower and often they get the key wrong, which is obviously not ideal. Number 4 is vidIQ. I think this is a really good tool for working with your type beat channel, but not only that, if you have a producer channel like mine where you're talking to camera, you're making videos, kind of instructional videos, or just generally anything kind of talking to camera, it's a really good way to find a good title and one which is going to perform well. There is a paid version, but you can definitely just use the free version. It will tell you what titles and keywords will perform well, which can then obviously inspire videos and type beats to make and post. It's good at giving an inkling into whether something is not going to perform very well, but I would say that it's not accurate 100% of the time. I have had beats perform better than what vidIQ was going to predict, but I would say that it gets it right generally, and it can be really helpful in suggesting ideas and things to focus in on. The last one, number 5, is basicpitch.spotify.com, which, as you can tell by the name, is made by Spotify, and it's a free service which turns any audio file into MIDI, which, as you can imagine, can be used in so many different ways for so many different reasons. I've actually used it on my own loops. Say a week earlier I've made a loop and then I want to record a video of me playing that loop a week later, and I've completely forgotten what I've actually played. It will tell me through giving me the MIDI of the loop. But obviously you can put in any song and learn from the progressions and melodies and give ideas from that. So again, I think it's a really good inspiration tool, and something which can spur on ideas, and maybe you can have a chord progression here or there. If you're looking for loops and samples, I've got a brand new loop kit which I've just released down there in the description. Check it out. So that's 5 websites you should know as a producer. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build this producer channel up from the ground, so please help, and I'll see you in the next video.